Hey guys, Finally Sleeps here, back again with another market video. I know it's been a while, so it's time to share some of my private tips with everyone, the masses. Stick around if you want to see how to make millions upon millions of coins on manufactured investments. Before we get into manufactured investments, make sure you subscribe here at YouTube and turn on notifications if you like this video and you want to see more. Then check out my Twitch streams and FinallyHeSleeps.com for even more. Manufactured investments. This is a phrase I've used for several seasons now. A manufactured investment is when player values increase because everyone expects them to increase. This can happen in two different ways. Number one, someone tells everyone that a player value is going to go up, so everyone buys that player expecting the player value to go up, in turn increasing the value of the player because they're all buying the player. It's a spinning cycle. It's a circle of life. Lion King. Number two, EA lets everyone know that a player value is going to go up by releasing event info early, so everyone buys those players expecting their value to go up on said date, whatever it is at that release, in turn increasing the value of those players. Again, circle of life, Lion King. The investment is manufactured by the process of buying for the expected windfall. We've seen this in seasons past when certain content creators release tweets or Discord posts or videos or whatever it is about an investment opportunity. The more people who latch onto it, the higher that player's value will rise, giving credibility to whoever posted it and the investment itself. The problem is, the only people really benefiting from this are the ones who got in early enough to buy on the cheap and are smart enough to unload it during the peak of that investment. Everyone else becomes the catalyst for the fire and are left with players that are burnt because they're worth at most what they paid for them, but usually they end up losing coins. But again, they see posts where someone like, I made so much money, and they think, well, damn, what did I do wrong? These types of manufactured investments are almost always a scam and should be handled with utmost amount of fragility, cup them and then decide what to do. I don't know. The EA created manufacturing investments have been coming by way of SBCs that unlock on a specific date, but you can see their requirements in advance. By giving players that insight into what's needed to complete them, players can buy in advance in hopes of quick selling their rewards, because apparently people still believe in quick selling stuff. Here's the problem with this. Most people wait until it's way too late to purchase these necessary requirements, and by that time they're buying along with everyone else, so the player value is already peaked. Not after the reset, when the SBCs are unlocked, the value peaks when everybody's buying. Being able to quick sell rewards from a player wheel or an unlocked event SBC is nearly impossible for most people, with only a few of them seeing profit worth their time and investments. That stuff was like 3 seasons ago. Quick selling is almost dead at this point. Sure, people can make money on it, but the gamble going into it, if you're bored and you've got nothing else better to do, but oh my God, there's so much easier ways to make money in this game. Now, knowing all of that, how do you maximize profit on these types of manufactured investments? The simple rule is to buy when players are at their trough, like way down at their worst value possible, and then sell when they're way up at their peak. Buy low, sell high. Duh. Knowing when those two events are, though, that's the problem for most players. The trough usually comes in the earliest days of an investment, or when everyone is distracted with something else, or when player values have plummeted for another reason in that same event. The trough is almost never right before the release or the expected peak. Now, the peak is almost never at the release or when you expect it to hit either. It's almost always when people are preparing for it, because they're late to the party. It's not going to be at the arrival. Let's take one of the SBCs in Fall Festival for the release of an event component, like when Scream Team came out or Festival of Light. People waited until the last 48 hours to purchase the players needed for the SBCs at release because they could see the requirements ahead of time. Then at release, they tried to complete the SBCs and quick sell the players, or they tried to sell the players that they bought, like in the last 48 hours, they overbought and they were trying to release it at the event release to try to make a ton of money because they thought everybody's going to need to buy these players for the SBC. Again, minimal success because we all knew ahead of time what the requirements were going to be. This became a manufactured investment. If people were going to complete the SBCs and they had the coins to buy the players, they would have bought them beforehand, not at reset. Doesn't work that way. You've got to think one step ahead. The peak in player value was not at reset or after reset. It was in that last 48 hours going into it. The trough was actually way back at the start of the event, about 24 hours after the release. And that happens the following week too. Players could be purchased for about a third of their value in that trough, and then they were at their peak in that 48 hours before. Selling those players back to the late investors in that last 48 hours was the easiest way to make 3 to 5 times your initial investment. Forget quick selling players. The real coins are selling your players to those trying to cash in on quick sell. Then buy those same players back 4 to 12 hours after the reset when people are dumping all of their dead investments because they're pissed because the quick sale didn't work and their stuff times out because they put it in on 4 hours at reset and they're like, I'm going to make so much money, and then it doesn't sell and then they have to dump it because they have to buy more players. You can buy those same players back at a fraction of their value only to resell them again 48 hours before the next SBC release because people will again gamble on the quick sell. Even if they screwed up the first time, they'll still think it's possible because they'll see those tweets and they'll see those Discord posts of, I made $55 million on quick sale. Yeah, no. Knowing where the troughs and peaks are allows you to maximize profit and never have to deal with the quick selling gamble at all. Use the events as a guide to know where the majority of people will be buying and selling, and then try to make coins by buying your players to sell to those. Buy in the trough, sell in the peak. Know when the trough is, know when the peak is. Maximizing manufactured investments. All right, thanks a lot. Remember, if you haven't already, subscribe here at YouTube so that you see these videos when they go live. Check out Twitch. Check out FinallyHeSleeps.com. As long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep making videos.